Welcome back to the regional semifinal coverage of the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One from Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City. Number 4 seed Louisville taking on top seed Baylor in this Sweet 16 matchup. The last time these two teams played was in this building 4 years ago today. Baylor was the top seed and Louisville came in with the upset. Schimmel goes behind her back and then overhead! Sims from 3, yes! Desperation time for Baylor. The defending champions from Louisville has pulled off the near impossible. And Louisville hopes to pull off another upset. That was one of the biggest in the history of this NCAA tournament. Notre Dame with the win today. Stanford and Texas playing over in the Lexington Regionals. But we got a good one on tap here with Baylor taking on Louisville. Pam Ward along with Hall of Fame coach Gail Gestencourt. Is Baylor trying to make it to its 4th straight Elite 8? If they do that, they'll need big things from Alexis Jones.
Well, absolutely. 3 straight Elite 8s they've been to, and they want to get to that 4th one. And it's going to start with Alexis Jones. She does a tremendous job in transition. She'll survey the defense. If the defense is not in a good defensive stance, she will make you pay. Scores easily in transition, and then half court, set the ball screen. She sees there's no hedge, there's no help. She's going to hit that 15-foot pull-up. And then attacking the zone. She's going to always have one eye on Kalani Brown, her 6'7" post player. She sees the floor so well.
And Baylor will be taking on a Louisville team that has beaten them twice in Sweet 16s. And the question this year is, who will be the key for Louisville as they are going for another trip to the Elite 8? Here's Kaylee Hartung.
Well, Pam, when we asked that question to Maisha Hines-Allen, her response was very quick and very simple, as she said, having Asia Durr. Now, Asia Durr came to Louisville, one of the top recruits in the country, but she spent her freshman year fighting through the pain of groin injuries. Now, a sophomore, she's pain-free, but the challenge is now rebuilding her confidence. Her teammates recognize that, and they set her down and they said, you need to be Asia Durr. We need you. Take over. Asia says, with support like that, confidence is no longer a problem.
You see the numbers that she has leading them in scoring. She has been terrific first-team All-ACC performer for the Louisville Cardinals. As we take a look at tonight's Capital One starting lineups, Durr along with Hines, Allen, and Mariah Moore are the big 3 for Louisville, all scoring in double figures. And for Baylor, Alexis Prince finally is healthy as a senior, and Nina Davis has never been to a Final Four. The terrific senior from Memphis. Will this be her year? Head coach is Jeff Walz and Kim Mulkey. And Kim Mulkey in her 17th year at Baylor has a couple of championships, but some disappointments over the last few years, particularly as a #1 seed. You might recall last year as a #1 seed in the Dallas Regional, they lost to Oregon State. And now they're trying to continue on against Jeff Walz, who's done a great job at Louisville now in his 10th season. And a couple of times he has gotten Baylor in Sweet 16, so try to make it 3. Both times when they beat Baylor in the Sweet 16s, they went on to national championship games where they lost to UConn. Kalani Brown, number 21 in white. A terrific talent. And we anticipate a great game between these two teams. Number 21 in black, Heinrich Shook, a very promising freshman, jumping against Brown. And here we go. Freshman Australian point guard Christy Wallace with the ball first. Nakia Cohen misses, and an easy putback for Nina Davis on the weak side.
And Baylor is going to try to pound the ball inside. Love going into Kalani Brown. But Nina Davis likes to clean up the mess on the weak side.
Baylor coming in with wins in the NCAA tournament against Texas Southern and Cal. 2 very convincing wins. Little weave action, Mariah Moore with the shot clock winding down. Drives against Brown, who is big and a very good shot blocker. Brown at 6'7". 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
And look for a double screen, get the ball into Durr.
And they don't get it off in time. Good start for the Baylor defense. Jeff Walz's team from Louisville. wins on their home floor against Chattanooga, and then they eliminated Tennessee, a big fourth quarter for them, as they took out the Lady Vols. Davis with that unorthodox shot goes in.
And they're going to give Davis that shot. They're giving so much attention to Kalani Brown down inside.
Moore being guarded by Prince. Courtney Walton does not score a lot of points for Louisville. Gave it up, and the basket is hit by Hines Allen, the second leading scorer on this team behind her.
Hines Allen had a big game against Tennessee, 14 points, 13 boards.
Wallace gets it over to Davis, the floater, and Nina Davis has scored all 6 of Baylor's points.
And Nina Davis, you know, she struggled, hasn't played as many minutes this year because Baylor is so deep. She's been the Big 12 Player of the Year in the past. This year was just second team, all Big 12.
Numbers down as the minutes diminish. Durr with a miss, rebound battled for and brought down by Mariah Moore. Junior from Hercules, California, which is close to San Francisco.
And Mariah Moore coming off that big game too against Tennessee, 5 for 5 from the three-point line.
That's the freshman, Shook, and you really think she has a bright future?
I do. She's so skilled. Runs the floor well, skilled inside. She can shoot the three.
Believe it or not, she's put on 25 pounds since she came to campus when she was painfully thin coming in from Colorado Springs. Now Durr, one of the many lefties on the floor with the miss. Takia Cohen has been in the starting lineup, making her 8th start of the season. Alexis Jones will make a major impact, and she's going to come in at the next whistle. Kalani Brown has one roll in.
And right now, Louisville allowing that high post shot. Well, the posts are hitting it for Baylor.
Brown at 6'7", unanimous first team all Big 12 selection, leads his team in scoring and rebounding. The first player other than Davis to score for them tonight. Hines Allen decides to take it right to Cohen, and it just would not go in. Here comes Christy Wallace. Plays with a lot of intensity, has been the point guard this year after being an off guard her first couple of years on campus at Baylor. Prince off the curl, won't go. Brown, using her height, could not get the rebound. Moore just pulls up. Jeff Walls was talking to us about how there's a couple of players in Moore and Durr who have those true pull-up jumpers. Nina Davis gets the nice feed from Wallace.
Really good job by Baylor finding the open player. Nina Davis, 5'11", she's not your true typical post player, but she runs, she's like a guard. She runs the floor so well.
Averaging 13 points a game. Long range three is off the mark. Baylor, as usual, looking to push it up the floor.
Yeah, Louisville right now just one and done. Baylor doing a nice job on the defensive glass.
Nina Davis had that halfway down. Now Durr, the star for Louisville, gave it up to Shook, who could not handle it. And it is off of Baylor. So here comes Alexis Jones, number 30 in white, the Baylor player who missed a month because of a hurt knee.
Well, and
Senior
Brianna,
who transferred, from Duke.
Yeah, and Brianna Jackson is also in. So two kids that started at the point for their teams, but both went through injuries, and now they're both on the floor.
Jackson missed a month because of back spasms. And Jeff Walls has continued to bring her off the bench because things have been going so well with his current lineup. He said, why mix things up now? Here's Alexis Jones, so good in the open floor. Prince nails it.
And you can see as soon as Jones gets in the game, the transition game for Baylor picks up. She loves to push in transition and sees the floor as well as any guard in the country.
Jackson, who is a transfer herself, been a big addition. He's coming over from Central Florida, second year with Louisville. Hines Allen gives it up to Moore, who was undercut. Count it. And Mariah Moore shaken up a little bit after being fouled by Jones.
And that's no fault of Jones. She was on the ground. There was not much she could do.
So Nina Davis trying to get to her first Final Four as a senior. Off to a fast start for the Baylor Bears. Timeout in Oklahoma City. Welcome back to Oklahoma City. Yes, Kim Mulkey has cut down 2 nets as a national champion in 2012 and 2005. Her team off to a good start, leading Louisville 12-6. But the last 3 seasons, not so good. 3 straight Elite 8 losses in 14 and 15 to Notre Dame. Last year to Oregon State. In Dallas when they were a #1 seed. What will they do this year as the #1 seed in Oklahoma City? And they will play, the winner of this game will play Mississippi State on Sunday.
Well, this Baylor team has not been shy in saying they've been talking about the Final Four being in Dallas, 95 miles from their home arena all season long. Over the summer, Mulkey came up with a formula to keep things into perspective. Part 1, reminding her players to embrace the moment. She had her younger players in mind, really. You know, could some of these young ones understand the challenge and not be afraid? Part 2 of it, she needed everybody to be all in. For a team with this much depth to be successful, no one could be selfish. This team couldn't have any chemistry problems. She had to put on a wristband. Embrace the moment plus all in equals Dallas.
And they really have done a great job, Mulkey and her staff, of balancing 10 players who get good minutes. And you were a head coach on elite level. You gotta do a lot of managing, and not just of minutes and players and egos and all sorts of things.
Yeah, I think egos is the biggest thing, especially players that are used to playing a lot. And now, you know, and I credit Nina Davis in particular, somebody who went from being Big 12 Player of the Year. And now her minutes have been basically cut in half. She's not the go-to player anymore. Kalani Brown is on the inside.
Wallace with the 3 while Louisville has gone ice cold. They've missed 7 of their last 8 shots, and they're going to get Mariah Moore for the push-off offensive foul. 2-time second-team All-ACC performer. Nina Davis, a couple years ago as a sophomore, averaged over 21 points per game, and it's now at 12 and a half. A 9-point difference over a couple of years, but she really doesn't care. She wants to win. Rebound by Hines Allen. Jeff Walls directing traffic from the bench, tells Jackson to come and get the ball.
And she's your true point guard, and he wants to get Durr on that wing, get her attacking the basket some.
And Alexis Jones is all over Durr. Shot clock, single digits. Good answer by Hines Allen. Contact on the other end of the floor, and the ball goes over to Louisville. As Lauren Cox comes in for Baylor, number 15. 6th player of the year in the Big 12 and a very promising freshman. One of the highest rated recruits. In fact, ESPN had her rated as the #1 recruit coming out of high school last year, Flower Mound, Texas.
And this is another big kid that's very, very skilled on the offensive end.
At 6'4". And for Louisville, coming in number 40, Sierra Johnson, the freshman, mishandled. Alexis Jones right to the bucket. Tough to stop her.
Yeah, Alexis Jones, she prefers transition. Usually makes the right decision, whether it's to score or pass.
Kim Mulkey working her back in gradually in the last couple of games of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, she missed almost a month with that bone bruise on her knee.
Asia Durr can't get it. Christy Walls. Good rebounding guard. Brown took a little step. So Alexis Jones back in the lineup and looking like she's about 100%.
Yeah, she loves this transition game. Looking to push, reading the defense. Got the little floater in the lane.
Jones from Irving, Texas. Started her career, great career at Duke, hurt her ACL against Notre Dame in February of her sophomore year, and then she transferred to Baylor. Be closer to home and her dad, David. Hines Allen just one-handed it, a little bit too strong. Mom Premier, the other big now in for Kim Mulkey. She's 6'4". Great tandem with Mom Premier and Brown.
Yeah, you see this Baylor team, they just continue to sub in big, big, and bigger.
And there's one of the bigs, Mom Premier, picking up for Cox. Definitely a deeper team than Louisville, a taller team. And they are out to a great start at 21-9. Sort of like we saw in our first game, Mississippi State had numbers against Washington, wore them down at a big fourth quarter thanks to their big Tierra McCowan, who's 6'7". Mom Premier able to come up with another board.
Yeah, and this Baylor team, #1 in rebound margin in the nation, plus 21.
And that sounds like you just made a mistake. They out-rebound their opponents by 21 per game. That is astronomical.
You should know I'm not going to make a mistake.
Never. Average 52 boards. The NIT heading to New York for its Final Four. Semifinal action tips off Tuesday at 7 Eastern. Cal State, Bakersfield, and Georgia Tech on ESPN. And watch ESPN. Visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. And now for Louisville, Courtney Walton checks in. She is the only player left from the team that beat Baylor here 4 years ago. She had a redshirt season in the meantime. Terrific student athlete, a grad student from Arizona, and she was thinking, why not? Why can't we do it again? Team coming in with a lot of confidence.
Watch for that high middle ball screen to end this quarter.
Wallace kicks it out. Jones thought about it again, and a foul is, they're going to get more with the reach in. Yes, they are. And that is 2 on Mariah Moore. Jesse Dickerson, Roy Golbayan, and Brenda Pantoja are officials. Pantoja. Spanish needs work, doesn't it? My English too. All right, shot clock is off now for Baylor. Natalie Cho, a freshman who checked in, is fouled shooting the 3 with 0.2 seconds left in the quarter. So a double baddie by Louisville.
Jeff Walls just picked up a technical on that. He's not happy.
So Shook was called for the foul that Jeff Walls disagreed with. Natalie Cho going to go to the line to shoot 3. Plus a technical. Let's look at it again.
And Chow. Yeah, that's a bad call.
That's a bad call.
She was not going up for the shot. She was trying to dribble. She shot fake. They did a nice job closing out, and she went to drive by her.
So Alexis Jones going to shoot the technical.
And this is big. Two free throws here. This is to end the quarter, and then you're going to get to shoot 3 free throws.
Jones 2 for 2. Now Cho's going to come up and shoot her 3. Can understand why Jeff Walls was upset. It happened literally right in front of him. And you're right, this could be 5 basically free points for Baylor. Cho at the line, a freshman from Plano, Texas. Kim Mulkey's been impressed with the way she has upped her game in the NCAA tournament, averaging 9 points per game. That is double her season average.
Yeah, and she's 4 for 8 from the 3, so feeling much more confident in the tournament.
Her mom was a pro ball player in China, settled in Texas. 4-point play from the line for Baylor to cap off a terrific first quarter. They scored 25 against Louisville.
And Alexis Jones started taking it to the rack. They've got their transition game going. Baylor is on the run and looking good.
Well, Baylor's off to a hot start here in Oklahoma City now with Jeff Walz. Coach Nina Davis led that effort for Baylor in the first quarter. What's the answer to stopping her?
Well, we had a breakdown on the first play. We had a kid shoot the ball that we wanted to shoot. She, you know, make the non-shooters shoot, and we don't box her out, give credit to Nina, and that kind of started things going. We have to put the ball in the basket. It's all about us being able to score. When you play a team like this, you got to score. You have to be able to score, and then we just got to be able to, you know, get some things rolling ourselves, figure out a way to get to the free throw line ourselves, and protect the basketball.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Nina Davis with 8 points in that first quarter.
Yeah, and she did it in a variety of ways. They gave her this shot, that high post shot. She nailed it, got her confidence going, and then scored inside in transition. That is the Baylor game, and that's where she's most effective. But she's got that little runner going, too. Feeling very confident. Four or five from the floor.
Part of Jeff Walz's strategy, as you heard him say, was to make players do what they're not used to doing. And Nina Davis, usually not known for hitting too many jumpers, but she was terrific. And here is a player, as we've already talked about, has seen her numbers go down, but has embraced all of her teammates because she wants to get at least to a Final Four.
And that's what she said. My goal is Final Four, period.
Shook from the outside. Yep, that's the 6'4" freshman forward. Showing some range, hits 39% of her threes on the season. Kim Mulkey's going to bring in 4 subs at the next whistle. She's already played 9 players, 7 have scored. Montpremier gets tangled up with Jackson, one of the smaller players on the floor.
And Shook, yeah, this 6'4" post player, I love. She's skilled. She reminds me just a little bit of Breanna Stewart. She's going to be great. She's averaging 11 points in her last 3 games now. She's 6 for 8 from the three-point line.
At 6'4" was a McDonald's All-American. Good look at Kylie, who's from Colorado Springs. Alexis Prince back in the ball game, as is Kalani Brown, posting up hard on Hines Allen. Nina Davis misses. Oh, it must be nice to have Kalani Brown to clean things up.
And that's what makes it so difficult with Baylor. They have so many bigs, and they just do an excellent job on the boards.
Hines Allen with the miss, and another defensive rebound for Davis. Whistle underneath, and that's a 3-second violation against Baylor. Coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship Regional Semis continues tonight on CBS and TBS. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. And the Baylor men have just been eliminated by South Carolina. South Carolina beat them by 20. And South Carolina beat some people. Took out Duke last week. And now they get Baylor. Martin's club doing some work. Off balance shot by Durr, way off the mark, but Shook is able to keep it alive. Jackson passed out the 3.
Yeah, Jackson prefers to get in the lane, find her teammates. But Durr needs to take balanced shots. They're running some ball screen action for her. Coach Walz wants her to shoot that shot coming off of that screen.
Alexis Jones left it short, but Kalani Brown is not boxed out. Shook got her. That is 2 on Kylie Shook. A player that Jeff Walz desperately needs to at least try to neutralize the 2 bigs for Baylor. So Kalani Brown at the line, and here's a player who last year as a freshman was not in top shape and told us that she changed her diet a lot, mostly cut out fast food. She said, I'm from Louisiana, I love to eat. So it was a big sacrifice. But she's been looking great. She's on the all-defensive team this year. Her dad, PJ, played at Louisiana Tech, 15 years in the NBA, and her mom, Dee, was a basketball player at Louisiana Tech as well. And now Kalani is whipping up the Big 12. Brown's the best free throw shooter on this team. That's a luxury because as a big kid, she gets to the line a lot. They left Moore open. Might want to rethink that.
And that's a good sign for Moore. She struggled with her confidence going into the tournament. Coach Walz said, get in the gym, work on your shot, get your confidence going. Yeah, more. You cannot leave her open. Again, she had 5 for 5 from the 3 against Tennessee. And she went through a 4-game stretch right before the tournament. She was 1 for 21 from the 3-point line.
Turn that around in a hurry against Tennessee. Kalani Brown was called for the foul on the other end of the floor. And now we have one on Alexis Jones for Baylor. That's her second. She can head to the bench.
Here's that ball screen we see. And this time she takes the shot, but she could step into that just a little more. Trying to get Asia Durr going.
Prince with the height advantage was all over her.
And Alexis Prince, she made the all-defensive team. So giving her some long length.
Kalani Brown continuing to be a menace. Jackson cut off by Wallace. Boy, a little bit of space. Hines Allen had a good look at it, but it wouldn't go in. Asia Durr, by the way, has not scored yet for Louisville. Nina Davis called for the charge. Drawn by Hines Allen.
And that's where Christy Wallace put her in a tough situation. She wasn't set offensively.
And Nina Davis goes out. Lauren Cox comes in. Davis at 5'11", Cox at 6'4". Out there with Brown, who is 6'7". Jasmine Jones, the freshman, comes in, and a travel call as Roy Goldayan said that Jones got the ball cradled on her hip.
Really trying to exploit Cox defensively. Jasmine Jones trying to drive to the basket past Cox. Travels with the ball.
5 turnovers apiece.
You can see they're just really smothering inside. That's why this high post shot is open.
Cox left it short, and now a rare breakaway for Louisville. Hines Allen takes it in over Christy Wallace. And the officials are calling this one very closely. What a double foul, perhaps a double technical foul. Brenda Pantoja trying to... All right, Brown gets one. And Jasmine Jones. So Kalani Brown for Baylor, Jasmine Jones for Louisville. And Kim Mulkey has some words for Kalani. Gets her out of there. Let her cool down a little bit over there on the bench.
Well, with 2 fouls, she's going to cool for a bit.
Good point. Cho gets it out to Wallace. And she took a step. They got her. Saturday on ESPN, that's tomorrow. The NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. Sweet 16, Oregon takes on Maryland at 11:30 Eastern, and then UConn goes for win number 110 in a row against UCLA. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. Oregon has some freshmen that are gonna just make you smile, Gail. They have a lot of talent there, and they got to the Sweet 16, the matchup against Maryland, who's used to getting there.
But again, UConn is always the team to beat. And Christy Wallace, she's been forcing things a little bit much early on, and this time she just takes what the defense gives her, hits that 3.
They have doubled up Louisville, 34-17. Here comes the Aussie.
Done a nice job, penetration, find your open teammate, don't hesitate. She nails it.
Welcome back. Baylor leading Louisville by 17. The winner will get Vic Schaefer and his Mississippi State Bulldogs, as they had a huge fourth quarter to eliminate Washington 75-64. Victoria Vivian's coming off the bench for the third straight game. She was terrific. Coming up on the Northwestern Mutual Halftime Report, Maria Taylor gets you updated on all the stories. We'll take a look at Mississippi State. No Turner, no problem for Notre Dame, who blew out Ohio State. And more on Kelsey Plum's brilliant career ending because of Victoria Vivian's and the Bulldogs. And Gino sounds off. That could be anything.
That is
Gino
so true.
Auriemma, who has very little filter. His team is going to play UCLA tomorrow in Bridgeport in the Sweet 16. After Maryland plays Oregon. Jasmine Jones, freshman from Tallahassee, gets the bucket to fall. Player that they probably going to have to really contribute tonight to get back into this.
And she's got such great elevation on her shot.
Rebound taken down by Mariah Moore. Baylor has led from the very beginning of this game. 25-9 after the first quarter. Another stuff, this time by Lauren Cox.
Yeah, and Asia Durr, just, you can see coming out of every timeout, they're going to run a play for Durr, trying to get her untracked. Lauren Cox says, not this time.
Asia Durr is 0 for 9 from the floor.
But we know she can heat up very quickly. She's a streaky shooter. She can score in bunches.
She has not scored. Montpremier with the two-handed swipe of the rebound.
And that was a volleyball block.
Alexis Prince backs it up. Inside to Montpremier, and they just can't stop that. Nice look from Cox.
And that's the first high-low we've seen all night. Because Baylor's been hitting that high post shot, now Louisville's coming out to defend them. Gives them that high-low look.
Baylor with 18 paint points. And boy, Louisville has had very few offensive rebounds. Cox with the turn, lost it and was fouled. Beatrice Montpremier, sophomore from Miami.
Here comes the drive. You know you're going to drive into the bigs. Really, it was a double block into the high-low. Nice job by Cox, and that's what I like about her. She's so skilled. She can hit the high post shot. She can hit the three. It draws the defense out, and then she's a very good passer from that high post area.
And one of the nice things about Lauren Cox is that she was fine with coming off the bench. #1 recruit, according to a lot of recruiting services coming out of high school, and she was fine with not starting. Wanted to kind of ease her way in. Foul against Montpremier.
Well, and a lot of people questioned why she went to Baylor, because there were so many bigs already there that were very good. And she said, I want to be challenged. I want to be the best.
Now, there's one person on this team who's really helped Lauren Cox in that transition to college, and that's Nina Davis. Now, Nina's quiet, not so much of a vocal leader, but she very quietly went to the Baylor staff and said that she wanted to be roommates with Cox on the road. She felt that time together, that synergy could help these transitions when you see Lauren on the court and Nina on the bench be all that much more smoother.
And that really is a testament to the kind of kid that Nina Davis is. We've already talked about how she's had her numbers go down, and well, she's all about team and all about winning, and took Lauren Cox under her wing.
And that's why you love Nina Davis.
Yeah. Quiet kid with a really loud game. Baylor up 16. Montpremier posting up hard. They got to get it to her. Big height advantage for Baylor, and they take advantage of it.
And Louisville's doing everything they can to try to keep the ball out of the paint. Just too much size.
Finally, something going on. Jasmine Jones with the finish. Prince took perhaps an extra step, but first, another foul has been called.
And Alexis Prince really having an exceptional year. We talked about the fact she's been injured most of her career, but she's in the best shape of her life, she says. Second team, all conference, Big 12. She made the all defensive team.
Yeah, Prince is someone who was so highly touted coming out of high school, but had surgeries on both of her feet. And as you mentioned, finally is healthy, in great shape, and she's had a terrific redshirt senior year.
Yeah, and she's, when Alexis Jones was out, 18.5 points a game. And there's Asia Durr. We've been waiting for that.
Took a while, about 17 minutes for her to score, but she's done just that. 1 of 10 from the floor, averaging 19 a game. Montpremier again gets underneath.
And I expect Jeff Walls to run another play for Durr right now. Get her while she's hot.
Alexis Prince called for this foul. Her first personal. And that will send Asia Durr to the line. Sophomore from Douglasville, Georgia. And someone who had that bad groin injury last year at the beginning of the year. Her freshman year, it looked like they were going to have to redshirt her, but she came out. Jeff Walls tried her against Michigan State. She had a terrific game. They did not redshirt her, and she played through pain all season. Now she's healthy, trying to get the confidence back. Cho, in and out. And here comes Durr. Baylor did a good job of getting back, just a little bit of space, and Cho gets the miss.
And that's where I would like for Durr just to get in a little bit deeper, maybe a 15-foot pull-up in that. She has not been hitting her threes. 1 for 8 against Tennessee from the three-point line. She had a great game, but not from the three-point line.
Hines Allen trying to go coast to coast, challenges Cox, gets the offensive rebound. Great work by Maisha Hines Allen.
So strong inside.
Lead down to 13. A lot of the Baylor fans on their feet asking for more, but now it's Baylor who's doing some one and dones. Zambrano with the shot. Mariah Moore over to Durr. Yes! Asia Durr gets emotional after she hits that three.
She needed that three, as did her team.
Timeout, Baylor. Took Asia Durr a little while to get going.
Asia Durr, seeing the three, being the three. Pumped up. And then you've got Hines Allen. These are the two leaders, and you see why. They do not want to be denied.
We had a chance to visit yesterday with Durr, Hines Allen, and Mariah Moore. All three of them very impressive. You could tell they liked each other and trying to get Durr going, and Louisville's chipped into this lead. Now down by 10. Had trailed by as many as 17 here in the second quarter. All of this coming in the last minute and a half. The 7 points.
And that's why, we talked about she can score so quickly. She also goes through scoring droughts, but when she's got the hot hand, you go to her. And her teammates know that. That's why they're finding her.
Wallace driving. Difficult underhanded scoop shot, but Christy Wallace was able to steal it away. There was a lot of contact there and no foul. They've been calling a lot of them, but not on that play. Mariah Moore over Cho, and Montpremier uncontested. Number 40, Sierra Johnson is back in, 6'4", to try to match up with Montpremier. Wallace over Durr. Skips out. Shot clock is off for Louisville, and now Moore slows it down to Durr.
And again, expect Durr to take that last shot.
Christy Wallace, a really good, intense defender, is up on her. Screen from Johnson. Asia Durr can't get it to fall. And Baylor, led by as many as 17, takes a 12-point lead into the half. Kim Mulkey's team trying to get back to the Elite Eight for the 4th straight year. Let's go to Kaylee Hartung, who is there with Nina Davis, the heart and soul of this Baylor team.
Well, Nina, you told us yesterday your team would have to come out to a fast start. You did that, but then no points for you in the second quarter. What do you need to do to get back to that hot start in the second half?
Just keep the ball moving. You know, I came out with a great start, and my teammates started to make some shots as well. We let up on the defensive end, and we can't let that happen. We let them get some wide open shots and some offensive rebounds.
What will it mean for your team to bring that defense back?
It's going to mean a lot. Defense wins championships, and if we want to win this game, we're going to have to play defense and not get them a lot of open shots.
Thanks, Nina.
Thanks.
All right, Nina Davis trying to go on to the Elite Eight, and she hopes a lot farther. Baylor with the lead at the half. When we come back, Maria Taylor joins us from the studio for the Northwestern Mutual halftime report. We are here in Oklahoma City, where Baylor, the top seed in this region, has a 43-31 lead at the half over Louisville. The winner gets Mississippi State on Sunday. Pam Ward, along with Hall of Fame coach Gail Gestincourt. Baylor has many strengths, among them their bigs, and they came up big in this first half.
They did. It was all about the bigs for Baylor. They did a great job hitting that high post shot and pounding it inside. All 3 bigs have 8 points, 24 points among them. And it started off with Nina Davis. She had all 8 of her points in the first quarter. She took that high post shot, she drove it in, and then Kalani Brown, she said, I can hit that shot as well. Nice job from the high post. And then Beatrice Montpremier said, I want to get involved as well, scored on that low block. But then for Louisville, Asia Durr started to heat up. We're going to need to see a lot more of this in the second half. She hit a couple of threes. She got it going. And when she's hitting, you can feel her emotion, and the team needs more of this.
Louisville's leading scorer, Durr, did not score until about 3 minutes were left in the second quarter. Baylor crushing it in the paint as usual. They are averaging 60 paint points in these NCAA tournament games. They also have taken advantage of turnovers. And Asia Durr, 12 below her season average. There she is, an incredibly talented sophomore, averaging 19 points per game, their best 3-point shooter as well. They did, on the bright side for Louisville, outscore Baylor by 4 in that second quarter, but Louisville has not led in this game.
And Baylor once again starts off going inside. They know where their bread and butter is.
Good strategy. It pays off again for Kalani Brown, who is working on another double-double. Kalani 3rd in the nation in field goal percentage at just under 68%. It's a Baylor team 2nd in the nation in scoring. Only Maryland averages more points per game. Nina Davis on the run out, got hammered and hit. And some rare emotion from Nina Davis after the bucket.
And Nina Davis, it starts with their defense for Baylor. And she might be slight of build, but she finishes very well with contact. Coming in, absorbs the contact, sees it through.
Jasmine Jones with her 3rd foul. And Nina completes the 3-point play. Had 8 in the first quarter, none in the second. She was a senior in high school when these two teams played in the Sweet 16 in this building 4 years ago. The big upset. She remembers it well and wants to avoid another upset here. Kalani Brown, more stuffage. Better shot selection, take it out where Brown can't get to it. That's Hines Allen.
And that's so smart by Hines Allen, taking it in. She's very versatile. She knows she gets stuffed in there once, she's going to bring it outside.
On the all-academic team in the ACC this year. Lonnie Brown, not the first time, and a foul called. Shook thought she had a clean block. That's 3 on Shook, who at 6'4" is the most talented big player for Jeff Walls. Lonnie Brown right back to the line.
Jeff Walls, he's got subs getting ready to come in. I'm sure Shook's gonna have to go to the bench, along with Mariah Moore.
And the other 6'4" players, Sierra Johnson checks in. Did not score in the first half and limited minutes tonight. $17-point advantage for Baylor. That ties, it was just one under, excuse me, their largest lead. They did lead by as many as 18 in the second quarter.
It's a double ball screen by Louisville, again, trying to get Durr off.
Asia Durr literally lost her shoe, dribbled her way out of her own shoe, and now she's trying to put it back on without untying it. Skilled, she did it.
It's a good thing because Christy Wallace was pushing the ball.
That gets stuck by Kalani Brown. Let's see if Hines Allen can get it. It came down.
Asia Durr, she's so quick, she just ran right out of her shoe. And Jeff Walls calling the play. Very specific with what he wants. They map out the first couple of plays of each half of the 4 games.
Brown with another block. A lot of football coaches do that, but it's fairly uncommon in basketball.
Most of the WNBA coaches do it. You don't see it as much in college basketball. I'm not sure why, but I think it's good. Get that first play you want.
Christy Wallace thought about it. Shot clock at 6. Nina Davis.
And Alexis Jones set that play up with just her little hesitation. She looked at the basket, made the defense hesitate for 1 second, and got the ball to Nina Davis.
Drive by Taylor Johnson and another foul. Tonight after Texas Stanford on ESPN. Sports Center at night with Chris Hassel and Lisa Kearney. All of these Sweet 16 games, men and women, everything else you might want to know. At Sports Center at night, streams live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. The Baylor men taken out by South Carolina tonight in the Sweet 16. Lonnie Brown gets another nice hand as she heads over to the Baylor bench. Mom Premier spells her. They just come at you wave after wave of Baylor players.
Yeah, Mom Premier 8 points in the first half as well.
Brown going out with the 3 fouls. But they have Mom Premier who can step right in. Taylor Johnson, good pursuit of the basketball, and she was fouled. Number 2 on Nina Davis. Christy Wallace.
Might have been a little push off by Moore. Louisville needs to score. Jeff Walls said it best. He said, we have got to score some points. Only 4 points at this point.
Asia Durr measures up. That is her 3rd 3 of the evening. But they need stops. Mom Premier gets fouled.
A nice penetration draw. Durr finds the space. Nice spacing. She said, I think I got fouled. But it's just been too easy on the offensive end for Baylor, getting that ball inside. And Jeff Walls talked about it. He said, you know, as a last resort, I might have to play high school defense, 2-3 zone, where everybody puts a foot in the paint.
Montpremier joins Brown in double-figure scoring for Baylor. Hines Allen, another step back. This one's too short. And another whistle underneath. They're calling everything.
And Montpremier was working hard on the inside, trying to get that early post position.
Sierra Johnson whistled for holding on to Montpremier, so Johnson has 2. Shook, the other 6'4" player for Louisville, on the bench with 3 fouls right now. Christy Wallace can't get it to go. Here's Mariah Moore with her head up, looking down. Durr finds a little open space. She's heating up.
Durr's feeling it. Her teammates, nice job, little dribble handoff. Durr doesn't need much space.
Can score points in bunches, and she's showing that now. Lead down to 13. Prince buries it, gets the 3 right back.
And that's what makes Alexis Jones so good. She finds her teammates, always under control.
Jones forces the turnover. Nina Davis on the left for Prince. But Alexis decides to take it in by herself. Nina Davis right there to put it back in.
Jeff Walls wants a timeout here.
And he gets it. Baylor, or just when Louisville finds a little opening with the 3 by Durr, Baylor gets another 3, and then Nina Davis working hard as usual.
And Alexis Jones finding her teammate, Alexis Prince, for 3. Baylor on the run.
Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One Cup impact performance, a big-time performance by Kalani Brown.
And she started it off with that high post shot. Did a little bit of everything, got on the offensive glass for her team. And then she's always gonna protect the paint inside. She says, no, this is my house. And then she's showing us a little versatility with the spin move down low. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, doing it all.
And let's take a look at their leading scorers. Nina Davis, 15 points, 7 of 10 in the 3 games in the NCAA tournament, Texas, Southern California, and now Louisville. Nina is shooting 68% from the floor, 19 of 28. That's good.
Not too shabby.
Yep, she is getting it done. Baylor has led from the get-go. Another block shot. Montpremier getting in on it this time. Baylor coming in with just 3 losses on the season. Lost to UConn early in a game in which Nina Davis did not score at all. Wallace bottled up a little bit by Durr. How did she find Davis? Oh boy, Nina blew it.
I think even Davis was surprised by that pass.
Montpremier with another rebound. Baylor's losses to UConn, Texas, and then West Virginia, when West Virginia had a terrific Big 12 tournament. Alexis Prince says thanks, Alexis Jones, for the assist.
Alexis Prince just so smooth offensively.
And it's really nice to see her finally play the way we all expected that she would when she came out of high school in Orlando. Finally healthy, she looks great. Definitely in terrific shape. Tough to get in shape when you have 2 bad feet.
Yeah, and once Alexis Jones went out, we said she improved her play, 18.5 points a game. Was shooting 50% from the 3, making over 3 a game.
Jones. Get it back out to Christy Wallace. Wallace has played point on some Australian national teams. Jones, why not?
She thought about it about 4 times. She just couldn't believe they weren't going to come out and defend her.
And if you're not, put it up. Coming back nicely from that bone bruise to her knee. Durr trying to do it by herself, and it worked like a charm. Got fouled. Timeout, Louisville trying to get a little bit closer to Baylor in Oklahoma City. Some storylines in this NCAA tournament so far. Mississippi State with an impressive fourth quarter eliminated Washington. Notre Dame with a huge win against Ohio State even without Breonna Turner. And UConn going to take on UCLA tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern on ESPN. Mississippi State moving on. Haley Hartung has more on what Coach Vic Schaefer had to say after the game.
Well, Coach Schaefer, after that game, impassioned, saying that he's disappointed his team is not getting the respect he believes that they deserve. He says, we've beat a bunch of really great teams. We've got great players who are working extremely hard, and they're still not getting the credit he feels they're due. He says, we'll fly under the radar all the way if we have to.
Flying under the radar, I would think, former head coach and in the Hall of Fame, Gail Guest, of course. But I think you might be all right with that.
Absolutely. You'd always want to be under the radar. The coaches all the time use the disrespect card to get their teams fired up. We heard Louisville talking about it yesterday. Mississippi State talking about it today. Whatever it takes to get your team fired up, go for it.
Held ball. Possession arrow keeps it on this end of the floor. The winner of this regional will take on the winner of the Bridgeport regional in the Final Four in Dallas. UConn, UCLA, and Maryland, Oregon playing tomorrow. Maryland starting at 11:30 Eastern time against Oregon on ESPN.
Louisville going to their trapping, half-court trapping defense, trying to make something happen.
Nina Davis continues to be a threat on the offensive end.
And just a nice job. It was a cross-court pass. Alexis Jones, she gets lucky. I think she was trying to get that into Montpelier.
Jones just picked up her third foul on the other end. Prince almost took it away from Moore. Mariah Moore, by the way, only 6 points in this game. Half her average, has not scored in the second half. Sam Furing in the game gives it up. And Baylor is keeping Louisville from getting anything going on the offensive end. Jasmine Jones now has 4 fouls. Jeff Walls looking on. Kind of a coach who can come up with junk defenses and strategies. The strategy 4 years ago was to say we had to hit a ton of threes to beat Baylor, and boy did they ever, as they beat them 82-81. They hit 64% of their threes, 16 of 25. Shoni Schimmel and Anthony DeSlaughter doing most of the damage, but that magic so far not being repeated here tonight.
No, it's like everything came together at the right time for Louisville in that particular game, and they don't seem to have the magic tonight.
Well, Premier's got her double-double. Nina Davis doing the work. More weave action from Baylor. Wow, Nina Davis scoring like she did a couple of years ago when she didn't have nearly as much help around her.
Kim Mulkey said sometimes when she watches her, she looks like a ballerina. I thought she looked like a ballerina on that shot.
Baylor's largest lead of the night. And a travel.
Nina Davis coming inside, little spin move, little pirouette. Kim Mulkey, she does it all. If she had an instrument, she'd also be playing in the band right now.
Kim
Keeps
says
everybody going.
She has never coached a player like Nina Davis, and still she'll watch Nina do some things and wonder how she did it, especially being undersized at 5'11". Nina steals it. Back to Wallace. Alley-oop to Davis. And Baylor is putting a big-time hurting on Louisville. Nina Davis with another 20-point game.
And Christy Wallace, she does the right thing. Find your senior, get her the ball. Nina Davis is all smiles.
Nina's got 21 points, 10 of 14 from the floor tonight. Second 20-point game in her last 5 outings. Louisville trying to get something before the end of the quarter. Sam Furing. Davis thought she blocked it, but instead she was whistled for her 3rd foul. Nina Davis shooting 71% from the floor tonight. That is an effective evening for the senior from Memphis. Went over 2,000 points earlier this year.
But, you know, 4 of Baylor's top 7 career field goal shooters are on this team. 4 of their top 7 in their career. So it's not just Nina Davis who deserves a huge round of applause and is getting it. They've got 4 players that are all in the top 7 for career field goal percentage.
Most of the Baylor fans gave Nina Davis a standing ovation, which she certainly deserved as she went to the bench. Davis shooting 55% from the floor for the season, and that's going up. Thievery from Wallace, and Durr bumps her. Well, Christy Wallace was a big energy machine for this team. Plays all out all the time, certainly the kind of player you would imagine that Kim Mulkey would like. When Kim played back in the day in Louisiana Tech, she was the same way.
And that's what Kim Mulkey says. She loves Christy Wallace. She's never once had to talk to her about effort. She said, I may need to correct things that she's doing, but it's never been about effort.
Christy has had a couple of 15 assist games this year against DePaul and then against Kansas State in the Big 12 tournament. Adjusting very well to being the point guard this year. Mariah Moore. And Baylor is now 10 minutes away from its 4th straight Elite 8, and they have been elite tonight for Kim Mulkey.
Baylor has their largest lead of the game here in Oklahoma City with Kim Mulkey. Coach, how do you describe the way your bigs have taken over this game?
Well, we got to keep Brown on the floor. She hadn't really gotten comfortable yet. They keep having little fouls on her, and we got to get her in there. We got to have post touches. When we have post touches, as you can see, we can shoot the perimeter shot. We got to keep running, and I think we're getting a lot of things out of every player.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Kalani Brown's not comfortable. 12 points, 9 rebounds. Nina Davis is comfortable times 10.
She is. She's got 21 points on 10 of 14 shooting. And again, did it in a variety of ways. Finished with contact in transition. You saw her hit the high post shot earlier. The little pirouette inside. She's feeling it.
10 of 14 from the floor, 6 rebounds, a couple of steals. She said she's actually glad that she doesn't have to be relied on. She likes that she's got help. A good feeling not to have to do everything, but she's done everything tonight. A little throwback game for Nina Davis.
And you would expect that. You know, it's tournament time, so she knows what this is all about.
Louisville shooting only 30%. And look at the points off turnovers, 19 zip in favor of Baylor.
And Hines Allen, she's only scored 2 points since halftime.
Asia Durr, after a slight rest between quarters, gets back into the game. Asia with 16 to lead the way for Louisville.
And again, looking at that half-court trap. Another foul called.
Sam Furing, the sophomore from New Jersey, picks up the personal foul for Louisville. Brown gives it right back to Wallace, yeah! And a chance for another three-point play.
Nice job by Brown to find Wallace. I thought she was going to go up. She was double teamed. When she put it on the deck, there comes the help. She finds her open teammate. Wallace knocks it down. Kim Mulkey's loving it. Likes to see that unselfish play.
Wallace completes the three-point play, and the lead is 30. Baylor continues to roll through the NCAA tournament. Alexis Jones passed up the three and took an extra step before she got it to Kalani Brown.
And that's where she should have taken that three, and that's exactly what her coach is telling her. She's like, you're open for the three, don't hesitate, take it. And she's still trying to work her way back in. You know, she was out for a month. She's played 2 games now in the NCAA tournament. I think her best games are still ahead of her.
Told us she is getting her confidence back. Getting confidence back that her knee is fit and ready to roll through an entire game.
And the excellent ball movement.
Brown could not convert underneath. And a foul will send Hines Allen to the line. As Gail mentioned, Maisha, who had 8 in the first half, has only 2 in the second half. Kalani Brown just picked up her 4th personal foul.
And she is not happy. She knows she's going to have to go sit on the bench again. But that's the beauty of this Baylor team. If one post player gets in foul trouble, there are plenty to come in.
Brown gets a very nice hand and a nice pat. Strong one from Kim. Kim gave her a little extra mustard on that one. These Browns played well. Montpremier in.
Yeah, you bring in Montpremier, who's got a double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Not a bad sub.
Brown has a double-double as well. 17 points, 12 rebounds. So both the bigs with double-doubles for the Baylor Bears. First in the nation in rebounding margin again. Over 21 rebounds per game on average.
This was Christy Walls. She just makes these hustle plays all game long. Gets her team extra possessions. And a little flex action, Baylor is.
Wallace takes the three. Chased down by Nina Davis, and they get a fresh 30 seconds.
And that's just demoralizing. You play good defense for 25 seconds. It's 2 offensive rebounds now. And Baylor really showing a lot of patience here.
Premier with the spin and puts it in.
Nice finish with the left hand.
Shook has been quiet for a while. Good hustle by Jones to keep it alive. But this is just not Louisville's night. 2-on-1. Davis takes it. Jones over Wallace for the basket. Her first points of the second half.
And Louisville needs to score because that allows them to set up this half-court trap.
Jones off balance. I think she liked what Kalani was doing out there.
I think Kalani still wants to be out there.
Sitting down with the 4 personals. Ball stays with Baylor, 17 seconds left to shoot. Montpremier out hustles everybody, but then got her shot blocked. Alexis Prince puts it up. And another foul has been called. Montpremier, I think, lost a contact lens. Yep, he just pops it right back in. Bianca Dunham, number 33, picked up the foul, a freshman forward from Philadelphia who is in for Jeff Walls.
Well, I do believe there was a foul there, but that wasn't called.
Called a ton of them, but not there. Maybe whistle fatigue. Baylor has looked just terrific from the opening whistle. Christy Wallace, good time management, gonna pull it out.
Kim's called the set with 1-4 low. Letting Christy take it. A little step-up screen here in the middle post.
Shot clock winding down. Wallace has to shoot. Courtney Walton comes up with the rebound. Walton playing in her final collegiate game.
And that's the thing about this Louisville team. They're young. You know, they've got their best players are all coming back.
They will lose Jackson and Walton as seniors. ESPNW.com has some things you need to check out. University of Maryland embracing the youngest terrapin. Inspiring story of Ashlyn Barrett. Quinnipiac became a mispronounced Cinderella. Freshman and coach Kelly Graves taking Oregon to new heights, where they will play Maryland tomorrow. And be sure to vote for the hand clap hoopla video winner. Be sure to log on to ESPNW.
If you have not voted for the hand clap hoopla, you've got to vote.
I haven't voted. I love them all.
You what?
I love them all. Is that a cop-out?
That is a cop-out. Okay. There are some exceptional videos out there. It's down to 4.
Oh, there's a Final Four?
There's a Final Four.
Oh, okay.
We need a national champion.
All right, that makes it easier. Premier from Davis, just a little bit short. And then takes it up again with their left hand.
I love how active Premier is. These posts have all just really been impressive tonight.
Mariah Moore with a little slingshot 3. As we go under 5 minutes left to go in the game, Prince got grabbed for some reason by Jones, who has just fouled out. Timeout on the floor. It is all Baylor.
The 2005 NCAA champion.
40-0. The Lady Bears are the national champs in 2012.
Kim Mulkey hoping to lift yet another trophy up after the last game in Dallas. And look at UConn. Of course, they win by big margins all the time. 4 of those 5 there, they won the championship. 2001, the lone exception. Baylor's at plus 129 through their first 2 games. And now they're up to 159 through 3 games. So they're doing a UConn pace. That's pretty impressive.
It's one way to beat UConn.
Yep. Well, yeah,
they've got about every other record.
Alexis Prince at the line, and now Alexis Prince, her turn to take a little bow. Takia Cohen back in. As we look forward now to Sunday night's matchup. As Baylor will be taking on Mississippi State for the first time since 2004. That will be Sunday evening from here in Oklahoma City. It should be interesting. We have good big players on both teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a big girls game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Battle of the bigs.
Mississippi State beat Washington earlier today as Cohen crashes to the floor. Tiara McCowan was sensational, especially in the 4th quarter at 6'7", and they also have Chinwe Okorie at 6'5", so should be an interesting matchup coming up. Bulldogs in their first Elite 8. Baylor going back for the 4th straight year.
And it's been 3 years of frustration, so this is what this team has been built for all year long, developing the young players, helping them grow, playing the deep bench. Kim's played 11 and 12 players all year long for this precise moment.
Vic Schaefer also has a deep roster. Third straight game today that he started what had been bench players during the regular season. Should be an entertaining matchup. Moore able to score. Wise of Wallace just to back away. Don't want to stop the clock and give Louisville opportunities to score. But as Gail mentioned, this is a Louisville team that will just lose a couple of seniors. They had no seniors last year, so the future's bright. They have at least one McDonald's All-American coming in next year for Jeff Walls, who continues to recruit well. But this will be a frustrating ending to this season. 7th straight 20-win season. And they're going to be 1 win short of 30. Going back at the line. Jeff Walls will go to 1 and 2 against Baylor. The other 2 times he beat Baylor, they went on to the national championship game, the 2 Final Fours, but unfortunately for Jeff, both times they played Connecticut, and both times they lost. One with Angel McCautry as his star, the other with Shoni Schimmel.
And this is with Asia Dur, his just sensational sophomore. She's going to grow a lot from this game because the key to those 2 teams is they had that alpha leader who was their best player with McCautry, with Schimmel. They would come right at you. They had that supreme confidence, and that's the one thing that Louisville's missing, along with they probably need to get some more bigs in there.
Christy Wallace special. Excuse me, Christy Wallace goes out. That's why you heard the roar of the crowd and another standing ovation. But you're right, that is the one thing we mentioned earlier in the game that we chatted. Oh, that's another frustrating miss for Durr, but she'll at least get to the line. We talked to Durr, Hines Allen, and Moore, and really nice kids. They seem deferential to each other, but you're right, they don't have that give me the ball alpha mentality. And that is something that might develop as they continue to grow. Durr just a sophomore, Hines Allen a junior, Moore a junior.
Yeah, and Jeff Wall said sometimes he feels like Durr's she's so nice. She's almost too nice.
When your teammates have to remind you, you're Asia Durr, go out there and don't feel bad about taking too many shots or being perceived even, not that anyone would perceive her as selfish, but she is too deferential at times, and she's such a great talent. In fact, Kim Mulkey recruited her to go to Baylor. She said that was heartbreaking not to get her, but she's got some talent out there. Avion Landrum, known as Juicy, right? Gets the bucket.
We kept hearing called Juicy yesterday in practice. We weren't quite sure who they were talking about.
Number 20 in white. Freshman who's getting some playing time in the NCAA tournament. Baylor going to go to 33-3 on the season. And they await the matchup with Mississippi State. Cho goes to the line. Just talking to Jeff Walls before the game, you could tell that he didn't feel maybe as confident as they did a few years ago. He came over to us before the game and figured it would be a huge uphill battle, and it certainly has been that. Baylor has just been impressive. He knew they would have to shoot lights out, shut down the bigs a little bit, and they did none of the above. Vic Schaefer, as usual, is working.
He's got the popcorn next to him, too. That's the food of choice for a lot of coaches when you're in gyms.
Taking notes, and this guy can compile some folders.
We've seen his notebooks. Very, very thick, about 3 inches thick per team.
Johnson running it underneath. Jeff Walls also has emptied his bench. Madison Square Garden hosts the NIT's Final Four. TCU takes on Central Florida in the night's second semifinal, Tuesday at 9 Eastern on ESPN, and watch ESPN. Visit NCAA.com for all 90 NCAA championships. Baylor hoping that they could come out on top on Sunday and then make that relatively short drive to Dallas for the Final Four. Cox over the back. American Airlines Arena in Dallas, where the Final Four will be held, hosted a regional last year. That was the regional in which Oregon State upset Kim Mulkey and her #1 seeded Baylor Bears in Dallas.
Yeah, she's been waiting for this game, this Sunday game, for a long time now. And she talked about the fact, she said, you know, we won some games we probably shouldn't have to get to Final Fours. She said, and we've lost some. She said, so I've learned to deal with a lot better.
Yeah, she basically said the 2005 team is a team certainly that no one expected to win the national championship, and they did, but there's no doubt that they have had some disappointing finishes. Cho with a nice spin finish. Baylor able to rest a lot of their players. Alyssa Dry, a 5'7" sophomore from Fort Worth, going to come in. Boy, Lauren Cox going to be called for a technical. She got her right hand up against Fearing.
Yeah, it was a jump ball here, and she got frustrated. Yeah, looked like a punch. Yep, just a frustration foul, but she took a little swing. Officials are going to have to, yeah, they're going to have to look at this one.
They called the technical right away on Lauren Cox. Usually mild-mannered freshman. And we see that Stanford is going to beat Texas. The game right now on ESPN.
So the officials have not looked at the monitor. Well, now they're going to look at the monitor. They were just going to call a technical. Coach Walls wants them to look at the monitor. So a flagrant one, excessive and unnecessary. No legitimate play on the ball, and that's definitely excessive and unnecessary.
Right there, that right arm that came through after the tie-up. And Jesse Dickerson was right there. He had a front row seat.
They're discussing now probably, is it a flagrant one or a flagrant two? And they're going to have a third party come in to have a discussion about it. They want to make sure they get this right.
Baylor with a commanding lead has led from the very beginning in this game, and they will play Mississippi State on Sunday with a trip to the Final Four on the line. Double doubles for Kalani Brown and Beatrice Mompremier. Right now they're looking at what Lauren Cox just did.
You can see it goes from a tie-up to, when she pulled that arm back, that's when you get into trouble. And they've called a dead ball contact technical foul, which is 2 shots in the ball.
Lauren Cox still out there for Baylor.
She's very fortunate it wasn't called more offensive than that, because it looked a lot worse.
I'm shocked it's not a flagrant. Because that was a pullback and a follow through. Fearing rattles one home. So we're shaping up in the Elite Eight. Halfway there, Notre Dame will play Stanford in Lexington on Sunday. And we will have Baylor and Mississippi State here in Oklahoma City. Juicy for two.
That's a little juicy. I like her game. We haven't seen her much. Got a bright future ahead of her.
Well thought of coming out of high school. Got the block that time. And another impressive win for Baylor as they continue to roll through. This is going to be Baylor's biggest margin of victory in the Sweet 16. They beat Florida State by 20 last year. And Kim Mulkey finally gets Jeff Walls in a Sweet 16 game after losing the first two. Fans here sticking around wanting to see 100.
They've been averaging over 102 points in their first two games. So going to fall just short of that.
Five Baylor Bears in double figures as they win it 97-63. Kim Mulkey's team gonna meet the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. And she has a nice exchange with Jeff Walls. Boy, they're mighty impressive. Nina Davis was terrific from the get-go.
And this is their fourth straight Elite Eight for the Baylor Bears. And it was all about their post play. They got it going on the inside, and their posts were dominant.
It'll be very interesting to see how they match up against the bigs of Mississippi State. Both teams are deep. And that is a scoring margin record for the first three NCAA tournament games, plus 163 for Baylor.
Tremendous depth in that Baylor squad. It wasn't just the starters, it was everybody, top to bottom. Great team effort.
And we will see them against Mississippi State, 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN on Sunday. Notre Dame and Stanford get to play at noon Eastern time in Lexington. Nina Davis was terrific tonight. She's with Kaylee.
Well, Nina, this season your teammates took some of the weight off of your shoulders. Tonight, you carried it. Why was tonight the opportunity for you to do that?
I want to get to a Final Four. It's simple as that. I've been stopped 3 years in a row, and I know that I'm a senior. I know that my team is dependent on me, and it's March Madness, so I know it's time to take my game to another level.
Yeah, as this team goes to the fourth straight Elite Eight, why and how is the mentality of this team different? As you say, you haven't been shy about saying that's the goal, to go to the Final Four.
I think we're just focused, you know. We're so unselfish all year. Everyone has played their role. We know that we have so much depth on the team, and we've just been playing together, and it's just continuing to show every game.
Congratulations, Nina.
Thank you.
A spectacular game for the soft-spoken but terrific talent for Nina Davis. Baylor wins at 97-63. They advance to Sunday night's Elite Eight against Mississippi State. For Gail Gesten-Coors and Haley Hartung, I'm Pam Ward saying so long from Oklahoma City. We'll see you Sunday. Let's go to Maria Taylor in an NCAA studio update.